We begin with President Biden pushing for immediate relief at the gas pump.
That's right. Mr. Biden is urging Congress to pass a 3-month gas tax holiday. The move would suspend the federal tax on gas, which is about 18 cents per gallon. It would also temporarily lift the tax on diesel fuel, about 24 cents per gallon. President Biden is calling on oil companies to put consumers above their own profits.
By suspending the 18-cent gas tax, federal gas tax, for the next 90 days, we can bring down the price of gas and give families just a little bit of relief. I call on the companies to pass this along, every penny of this 18-cent reduction to the consumers. There's no time now for profiteering.
Let's bring in Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes. Hi, Nancy. So Democrats are not universally on board with the president's proposal. In fact, Speaker Pelosi's office reportedly told the White House that they may not have the votes. So how is the president going to try and convince his own party to pass this?
It is going to be an uphill battle. I have to be honest with you. We're already hearing from Democrats today on the Hill who are saying point blank that they don't think that this helps consumers enough to be worth it. They are worried that what will happen if the federal government eliminates the gas tax for 3 months. We're talking about an 18-cent per gallon tax that retailers simply won't bring the price down to match that 18-cent reduction. In other words, the federal government will, that price is baked in to the cost of a gallon of gas. And you're kind of assuming if you eliminate the tax for 3 months, that gas stations will go, okay, well, we'll bring the price down by 18 cents. Maybe they bring it down by half that. Maybe they don't bring it down at all. Maybe it takes them a month or two to drop the price. And if that happens, this already very modest savings for American drivers goes away almost completely. At the same time, it siphons billions of dollars out of the highway trust fund, which is what these taxes are used to pay for road repairs and the like. So there's a lot of skepticism on both sides of the aisle. Some Republicans calling this a gimmick or a silly proposal. The president saying it's just one part of the new proposals that he is putting forward to try to ease the pain that Americans are feeling when they fill up their gas tanks.
Well, Nancy, it is, of course, an election year. Americans have been struggling with high gas prices for months now. Does the White House essentially feel that they don't have many options left to deal with this issue?
Right. They don't have many options. So this is one thing that they think could help a little bit around the margins. And let's really break down what we're talking about here. Let's say, your car has a 15-gallon gas tank. And right now, it's pretty painful. It costs you about $75 every time you fill up. Well, this would save you about $3 every time you fill up your gas tank. So we're looking at $72 instead of $75 to fill up your tank. Not exactly game-changing. But on top of that, what the president is urging states to do is to eliminate or reduce their gas taxes for the next few months as well. And that could make a bit more of a difference because some states impose a gas tax that is twice or 3 times the size of the federal gas tax. And there are a handful of states, about a half dozen, that have gone ahead and done this already. And analysts say it has made a little bit of a difference. Consumers have seen some savings, not necessarily enough to make it worth it. But you're right, Elaine. The options that the president has right now are pretty limited. It is an election year, so he wants to show the American people that he's trying to do something, anything, to bring down the price, even temporarily.
Yeah.
No, all right. Nancy Cordes at the White House for us. Nancy, thank you.
You're welcome.